Hello, I'm picture book artist Sydney Smith. I became a picture book artist because I love to create art ever since I was a young child. I love to draw, and I drew pictures for my parents. And then when I grew older, I went to art school and I drew pictures of what it was like to be a child. It made sense that I would create picture books because I loved to create images that represented childhood. I think I've always been a child. I'm still a child. I'm still the same person. The picture books that I have created or I've illustrated, some of them I've written myself. I guess chronologically, Sidewalk Flowers, written by John Arno Lawson. Town is by the Sea, written by Joanne Schwartz. Small in the City, which I wrote myself. I Talk Like a River, written by Jordan Scott. Do You Remember is a book that is very personal of mine that I wrote myself. Still making pictures for my parents. And then most recently, a book written by Brian Floka called Island Storm. The main technique changes a little bit from book to book. When I started, I used mostly ink and watercolor, which I enjoyed quite a bit and worked really well for a few books. But as you work on different stories that have different emotions or different feelings, you want to find the right technique or the right medium to match the feeling and the emotions of the story. So I would change and explore. I started using more gouache. I started using more ink. I even started using things that normally wouldn't go together just to see and experiment and play. It's really mostly about play. A good example would be the Island Storm image with the ocean and the clouds. There are many images in that book that use this kind of mixture of mediums to create this feeling of the vastness. You can see ink, you can see watercolor, you can see gouache, but you can also have, there's raw pigment. So it's a hard question to answer because it changes. There are so many pieces in this exhibition which are very dear to me, very close to my heart, because I like to use parts of my life to create the art. So I'm inspired by places where I live. For example, Small in the City, you have an image of a child standing in the steam of a dryer vent, and that is something that was just down the street from me, where I lived at the time that I wrote the book and illustrated the book. It was very important to me that I use the neighborhood in which I was living because it felt real, and it's also it makes things a lot easier. With Island Storm, the image of the two children looking out of the window was an image that I painted over and over and over again because I wasn't happy with it. Finally, I asked my two children to stand in the window. I took a photo and referenced the photos and worked from that. So the two children in the window are my two children. A really wonderful gift to be able to put my family, my home into these books that are like these little time capsules that will go out and have a life in the world, be read by other people. When I read the books, when my children were young, or when I was living in this city, or with Do You Remember, lying in bed talking to my mother about memories. Island Storm. It's a story about two siblings that explore the island on which they live during a storm. It's about children discovering their limits on their own, which I think is very important as a parent. I know how hard it is to not try to protect your children all the time. It's very important to trust that your children will discover their limits on their own. That is at the core of this book. Also, this book is about caring for each other. It can all be distilled to one message. We will be okay because we have each other. Even though we are in the middle of a storm, maybe we're lost and it's scary, we're going to be okay because we have each other. I think my plan for the future is to explore more deeply what I've discovered in some of these books, and that would be the perspective of a child, through the eyes of a child. I'm really fascinated with how that changes the picture book experience, where you are seeing and experiencing and feeling through a character, and quite literally looking through their eyes. It means that every book that I make is an extension of the last one, creating this long conversation or long exploration from the very first book that I ever made to the last one I'll do before I die. That will be one long journey. I can't see any other way of working.